change their positioning in later rounds. So, you know, it works.
It works.
It definitely did. Let's take a look at our map bans for this matchup. Again, 7-map pool, down to 1 at the end, and we're gonna get through it.
Oh. What a shock!
Who's casting this, by the way?
Hap and Dance.
And
It sucks to be you, Des. Loser.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about it this way. Fnatic banned Clubhouse, then they removed Consulate. We saw Fnatic playing on Coastline; they were very effective. QConfirm immediately banned that, right? Was QConfirm going for Consulate versus banning Oregon the right decision, Jess?
Look, I have nothing on Fnatic on Oregon, so all I can really look over into my stats and go is that they've banned it 9 times. It is their predominant ban out of all of their bans, second to like sort of theme parks, also up there as their second most banned map. So I think for the most part, when you've got nothing on a team and it's something that a team bans a lot, you can probably hypothesize that they're not very comfortable on it. I doubt this is a pocket strat for Fnatic. There's no way. Maybe they thought it would go to Consulate with the Clubhouse ban, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it a couple of times so far in this stage across both the regions that we do, that teams have come in on Oregon, they haven't played it before, and they've shone on it.
Yeah.
So there is the chance, but as you say, it might not be a pocket strat. It may just have been that they expected something else. I think it was just more important for QConfirm, obviously, to make sure that Coastline was banned. They went for Cafe, which is a classic ban of theirs. But after what happened on Coastline last stage against Fnatic, where they lost 3-7, they definitely wanted to get that one out of the way.
Okay, heartbreak today, possibly, perhaps. Fnatic, QConfirm, as you mentioned, Gio, very early on, they came into stage 1 after we kind of merged APAC and in the way that it is today, #1 in their region, right? This is a clash of the olden Titans. They're trying to get back into that good shape, and my big question is, will this mentality reset that actually both teams have gone through be enough to pull them through today? This is a big test today, Gio, isn't it?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, both of these teams seem to show that they have come into this stage with that right mentality. They have got the fortitude. I mean, the statistics speak for themselves and their performance has spoken for themselves. But right now, this is where one of them has to get one step over the other. And depending on whoever it is that does lose, can they continue that fortitude going forward? And also, whichever team does win, how does that, you know, elevate them as they go forward as well? So, you know, both these teams will be feeling very confident after their performances on Tuesday. It's just about who gets that one up here.
Look, I'm just going to slide. I'm going to be a devil's advocate to what Gio said in the fact that I actually think the Fnatic I've seen in the last stage, and this is going to be controversial, was literally the worst Fnatic I've ever seen in my life. And I've been in Siege for a long time. It was literally... like, remember Valley's trash bucket? Like, that's what Fnatic were. And that's such a shame because they brought in Krabel. They have really good coaching stuff. They got really damn good players. They got fresh blood. And I think we're only now seeing what Fnatic should have been last stage. So I actually think that we haven't seen of them anything near. I think we've seen a quarter of their capacity. I really do. I think they're way up there in capacity. I even think they're better than Giants. I really do. I really do. I want to see it because I'm sick of not.
Look, how many times did we taught, like, just say Fnatic, you know what, best thing since sliced bread in APAC. It's just, they should be a top. They should be on the top. This is why we have those expectations.
This is the big thing with these two teams is I think they both have really high ceilings. You know, I totally agree with everything you're saying, Jess. I think we've seen a fraction of what Fnatic have to offer, but I actually think that's also the same for QConfirm, especially after, you know, they had this time in the overall region of APAC North to gather information, play styles, learn more, because that's what happens when you bring all these sub-regions together that haven't played together before. You're going to do nothing but improve, even if it's tough at the start. And I think after kind of the glimpse of what we've seen so far this stage, even though it's not that much, it gives so much optimism for the fact that both these teams come in with a very high ceiling that they are still some way away from reaching.
I still think the fuel tank is much bigger on Fnatic. I'd say double QConfirms. And I love QConfirm, but I don't think they can fit as much fuel in there as Fnatic can.
Well, our lobby is almost set, ladies. So, in the meantime, final thoughts on this. I want to hear a bit more detail on this. Unfortunately, we're not going to show everybody and their prediction to this one. We're going to tally all of that later on. But Gio, scoreline, expectations to this one. Let's put everything, you know, let's just put words where our money is. Let's go.
I don't remember who I predicted. I think it was.
We have a sheet for that, by the way, for everybody wondering.
Yeah, and I don't have it up. You know, I'll just
wait. I got it. I got it. You went QConfirm.
Did I?
No. That was the last time. No, you went Fnatic.
Hello?
You went Fnatic.
Oh, okay.
You went Fnatic.
I was gonna say I think I'd probably go for Fnatic, and it is one of those things where it's like Fnatic have so much evidence historically to prove what they can do, whereas QConfirm, while I have belief in them and their abilities, there's less evidence for me to definitively say they are outright better than Fnatic. I want to see them show up because they really did impress on Playday #1, but it was against Norengo, who have been struggling, and you can't necessarily take that as gospel. So while I have belief that they have not reached their ceiling, there's still so much more to offer. New player Roldini has evidently been playing well. I just think Fnatic, if they can keep up whatever it is in their heads that they've changed now, there's no reason to believe that they can't take this game.
Jess?
Well, I mean, now go back to the statistics, off the hot takes, onto the facts as they currently stand. I mean, if you look at QConfirm's played it, 3 times? And the last time they played it was pretty convincing. 7-2 against Norengo? Yeah, against Norengo. However, the 2 other times against Cloud9 and Cyclops, they lost in a pretty demanding fashion. So, I mean, you've got a 50-50 chance that QConfirm either are on their game or they're not on their game, and you've got an 85+% chance that Fnatic are rolling in from Tuesday going, all right, this is easy breezy, and here we go, and they're hitting Oregon with no counter strats against them. That's the best position to be in, and I hope they scrim that map because they've got to be ready to go.
That is always the biggest question, because we saw that with Team Secret even in EU, and really every team that comes in for the first time with a fresh take on things, especially one that has had a lot of experience, go into a bit of a slump and then try to get back to their old shape, is that it takes them 2, 3, maybe a couple weeks to really get into shape, and after those 3-4 play days, then you can start to finally judge. We did the same thing with Vitality. We gave them the entire stage. Famously, you did that specifically, saying, you know what, I'm gonna give them stage 1 before I say anything, because changing 2 players and a core of that team is very difficult. It's something that takes a long time to adapt to. And in this case, Fnatic reset mentally. Gio, even Mag went on social media right before their match on Tuesday, and he was saying, you know what, we reset mentally. I really wonder how all of this happens in people's heads. It's kind of difficult to get a grasp on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those important things, and I think this is something that Jess will probably be very familiar with, given that she was a coach and she had to kind of go through the process of helping her team get to that place, right? That's not something I have done, and it's definitely something we have to commend the support staff on a team for, to be able to help reel back, because I know that if I were a pro player and I were having a lot of troubles, I would collapse, I would fall apart, you know? And so you have to give so much commendation for the support staff who help reel them back in, get them back to the place that they should be, and tell them, no, you can do it, and you believe that you can do it too.
Okay, you know what, Gio? The server believes that it can get this match in order. So thank you very much. You gave it breath just to start up. Just Gio, thank you so much for this long introduction to our day. Let's kick it over to our casters. Start things off is Hap and Dez, and they're gonna go on Oregon yet again. It's Fnatic versus QConfirm.
APAC and EUL that we are going to Oregon. Dez, you once said, yes, give me Oregon. Now you're gonna get it every single time, every single day. How do you think that, well, wish go for you right now? Like, do you regret it?
I love Oregon. I actually do think it is one of the best maps in the pool right now for teams to play on. Given it's one of the latest ones, you're still seeing a lot of discovery from teams, still seeing teams approach things in different and unique ways. There is kind of the standard norm, I think, that most teams are starting to employ, but I think variation is still the name of the game. There is still much to be discovered on this map. However, seeing it this many times in 1 week can test a man's patience and, of course, a woman's patience. So I'm sure Jess and Gio may share some similar thoughts, but let's get into these bans. Hap, well, curious to see what gets banned away here. I know that QConfirm have been target banned a Clash a couple of times on this map. Wonder if Fnatic go for the same setup.
Be interesting to see indeed. It's the Monty to go out first. Fnatic removing that one from the board. QConfirm not able to use. Of course, Fnatic not themselves either. Now, it wouldn't be Oregon if we didn't get like a hard breach or a Thatcher ban. There's always going to be at least one of them, especially with the current all meta, which is, well, of course, Ace coming out quite a bit because he's quite a reliant factor actually for the hard breach. And thus, Maverick will be removed, and that will be basically making sure that tricking the wall, electricity-wise, is going to be possible.
Yeah, and also looking towards the hatches as well, I guess is the big focus there. If you can bring a kite along and keep the hatch going up into meeting close when you're defending the downstairs, that can give you quite a large advantage. Also a similar story when you're looking towards something like the wall up in Attic. You can't just cut through it if it's mute jammed out, for example. You do need to clear out the mute jammers from below, which means more utility being used there, less being saved for destroying gadgets later on. Just forces the attackers to bleed through a little bit more utility before they can start looking for an execute. And as expected, there is that clash bang coming out against QConfirm. So that's a curious one. It always seems to be the way it goes against them. The Kai going away too makes total sense. Thatcher does stay on the board. So, hey, not too much to worry about here, I don't think.
All right, indeed. Thatcher on the board, and that is instantly being brought. It looks like Healthcare picking it up together with the Ace. Now, will we see a second hop? Is that Blitz? Surely that will get 6 picked out. You're not going to be showing that from the get-go. But
No,
there's also Ying.
Finker, surely.
But there's also Ying, and you don't show Ying from the start normally either. Well, they do now.
Surely they change
And
it
the
out.
Blitz stays in quite long. Okay, there we go. I was going to say the Blitz stays in suspiciously long, but it's going to get changed out to Nash. Oh, that's a boring change.
That's an interesting one. So very commonly that will be a Finker for these guys. In fact, on their game the other day, what they ran an awful lot was the Finker and the Ying combo. So although you might say here, it looks quite surprising to see it being picked out, this is very much part of QConfirm's identity. They will take a comp, they will run it to the 9 heavens and just keep on pushing forwards with it. It's why I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing the Finker coming out, given the strength we've seen from that historically. But look at how many smokes they're rolling out with here. Ace with 2 on side. You've got Dark, the other sub they picked up alongside Rolled in the off-season, stepping in today as well. Worth noting him. He's stepping in and replacing... God, I should know this by now, because I was a massive shield for these boys as well. Remind me.
I'm just gonna say, look at the fact they want to play this Ying game. We've seen it. I believe it was on the Tuesday. The
Hajime.
execute that is possible downstairs, and yeah, Hajime. But like that was actually like the issue. There was no ADSs on site. Look at Fnatic's lineup now. There's ADSs and there's magnets. There's no way that Ying is going to be allowed to be as effective as it was on Tuesday. They'll have to be a bit more careful, and that is maybe where to bring all these smokes, just to waste the ADSs, because for lack of flashbangs, it's probably better to bring some smokes.
What they can do with this, and I want to touch on Dark for another couple of seconds here as well. Again, Roldini and Dark were brought in as their 2 players in the off-season, not just the 1, even though they only dropped Funlex, or Funlex retired, I suppose I should say. It does give them this flexibility, and here Dark is stepping in for Hajime, who the other day was playing the Ying for them most of the time. So it is a like-for-like replacement coming in here. I'm liking that we're getting the chance to flavour what both of these players can bring, and personally, I'm not massively against 6-man rosters. I think if you can bring something against certain teams that you know plays well into their play style, or you just want to keep other teams guessing around what the capabilities of your roster is based on different combinations, it gives them options, and that I think is a real strength to bring up against a league like this where the games come thick and fast. Having these kind of 2 modes that you can flip to based on what players you bring along really works to your advantage.
It's something that was being done early in Siege as well. Year 1, Year 2, some teams had 6-man rosters, and it leaves a bit of, mysticism around your roster, because it's not always the same 5 that will be playing. You do not know what you need to be preparing for, because, you know, they might just be able to just swap out a player out of nowhere, and suddenly your whole prep seems to be, well, somewhat useless. It's often what you saw as well when teams do, like, last-second roster change right before the finals. Your whole prep suddenly all becomes, well, almost invalid. And that gives you the surprise factor. So if you'll be running a 6-man roster, it's going to be really hard, especially in a league like this, to try and prepare for it. Because the match days are quick. You do not know who you play until like 2 days before you actually play them. and that leaves you with little time to prepare.
Three of them grouping up around Freezer here. A couple, I think one down towards Laundry as well. So very much an unconventional south side take coming out of QConfirm. Very common to see teams going up towards the north. There comes the first Candela. Really smart way of dancing around those magnets and the ADSs, as apparently there are non-station in towards this side. But look at Tex here holding through this little pixel angle through the tiniest rotate they've opened up. Should let them catch someone out if they try and push too close to this wall. And I'm wondering here that they're starting to siphon themselves into a really uncomfortable spot.
It might be, but Lacolas is right here in the laundry room to try and, well, support. As Lusty's going to be able to pick up a kill. He's going to be able to pick up the second one as the team flash comes down. There's nothing Lacolas can see right now. He manages to survive. And, well, some long angles are being engaged right here. Lacolas is on sides, but he does have the diffuser in hand, and that means he needs to go for the actual defuse. He does that now, but he will be down. It's Mac to come in with a very important kill right here. And in these last 5 seconds, it's only up to Producer Boom right now. We'll be able to find one kill, but instantly traded out by Mentalist. The Fnatic will win their first round, and they continue their, well, 7-round streak and turn it into 8 now before they're beaten.
It's a little bit heavy, I think, trying to force their way through Freezer. Freezer has this problem where you have that single wall that you can go through, they couldn't open it up, or the doorway up towards the north. You then have 1 or 2 players trying to push in towards Laundry to stake a plant in the south side of the site. Biggest issue again is that with Freezer, with it being so thin in terms of your access points and sight lines in towards the site, unless you open both of those double walls up, you just don't really have much coverage opportunity. You can't really help your team. Someone can sit very comfortably in the long corridor that runs alongside the supply room and spray down to someone trying to take a plant, or even looks to get themselves in towards the utility area off to the right hand side of supply. So a little bit tight there in terms of what QConfirm were trying to do. I think if they played around the Ying a little bit better and actually managed to get the executes through and jump in off the back of those Candelas coming out, maybe they would have found themselves with a kill or 2 more. But as soon as Fnatic found those first 2 kills in the opening engagement and QC only got 1 in response, my thought there was it's a 4 versus 3. You've gained no ground. This is absolutely going to be Fnatic's round, and that's the way that it played out.
It's indeed the way that it played out, and as there's no Ying being brought now. There was a 6-pick, it's the Nomad out to the Finca, so we'll see it now. Not carrying grenades, but carrying the Heart Breach device. That is something to think about. And on the other side, we see the Warden being picked out, just in case that the Ying will be coming out again, you know, just as an insurance policy. And we know the Mentalist can frag out anyway, so like he's just sitting there, being able to at least try and deny whatever happens.
I suppose in Fnatic's mind is they don't want to see that 6 picked away and then give themselves a really uncomfortable position. They did it in the last round as well, bringing that Warden along just in case it is a thing. And I like how they're engineering themselves around both the Warden and the Jaeger. For the longest time, we've seen what those two can do together in terms of the amount of utility that it drains out the other side. And literally looking back in towards the operator ban phase, remember, I touched on the Maverick and mentioned that with him being brought along, the throwables on the other side, more of them are required generally to get through certain setups. So I like here how it's kind of becoming a thing, but at least on this wall up towards the northern side of APAC, there's no real focus there, so Producer Boom can just rock on up, drop down that new Heart Breach gadget, and the wall will be opened up.
Duck's going to be able to follow that up with an instant kill onto the attic as well. That's a very long angle he actually managed to get it from. Could be a wallbang as well, not completely sure, as the Selmas now will be deployed on the attic. Well, really, yeah, I like that too, because now you're going to be basically making the entire attic impossible to play. You're going to be able to cover out any player that wants to move through here, and you can instantly see why there was no grenades being brought.
Less so more the focus on the actual Selma being popped down that wall. It's very common to use like a Hibana or something to get that wall open. More that they used the smoke to make sure it was covered off so it couldn't be sprayed off. The number of times I've seen players playing just inside of dorms and spraying Hibana charges off that wall before they can go off is ridiculous. The fact you're using a smoke and making it quite hard to catch the Selma, they did try and shotgun it off but failed in doing so, means that has been opened up, and that now means there's pressure inside a pig, enabling Producer Boom to step forwards, and it's another angle or another threat point being given to the side of QC because they can also play on the kid's window now.
Some unfortunate flashes coming through as Lusty will be able to pick up the first kill on the side of Fnatic, but Trades will be there. A jump out from Lusty as it picks up his second kill. The man is unstoppable ever since, you know, that 12-on-2 that he managed to put up. Another Adrenaline Surge coming in will be helping a bit with the spray control of these weapons, especially the LMG that Producer Boom is running. With 60 seconds left, it seems like we're stalling out just a bit now. The diffuser is down. It needs to be recovered. Lusty is ready for another jump out. Dog has to be careful.
Does, but if he gets caught out here, there is a massive problem because really all he's got to do is push inside. You're looking towards Stigs and Mentalist doing most of the holding here inside of Kids with the 2 members from QC out towards the east. It's now about whether or not they can support Dark in getting this plant down because it's got to go down soon. Lusty could play a massive spoiler up White Stairs. I think back yesterday, in fact, I think it was inside EU where we saw one of the players come up there late and just completely slam down onto the other side as they were trying to go for a plant, and there was nothing they can do. In fact, I think it was Durza on the side of Tempera. So here, Dark has got to be so careful. But now that he's inside, a plant opportunity exists, and the team needs to support him. That could be a massive round-defining kill there coming out of Producer Boom.
10 seconds left.
Could be a massive one indeed, but Lusty's about to move through. If he's going to be able to find his diffuser from happening, he's going to be able to stop the round. He's going to be able to get a quad kill here.
God.
Will he be going for the ace? That's the question. It's only up to Producer Boom now. A bit of damage is being done. Surely they're not going to get greedy about this. They will be just here to try and close up the round. But it's Lusty with the ace, and he's going for the defuse as well. An absolute massive round of him. 6-0 right now. 18-2 in the league. The man is a beast.
What are you gonna do about that? The girls on the desk spoke about him before the games. Jess saying, Lusty, you know, guy's a machine. Look at his stats over the last stage. Look at it coming into this stage. On Monday, he had a wonderful game, and that trend is continuing. An ace to himself. And think about it as well. He wasn't really involved in the site defense. He was playing for that jump out game downstairs at the bottom of White Stairs. Found a kill down there, came back and proceeded to kill absolutely everyone. Great round from him and dragged Fnatic over the finish line there. But hey, moments like that is what we live for. 2 rounds to Fnatic and a good start to the defense for them.
Just chipping away on them, just to make sure it was weak enough when they would actually go for the attack. So he could just clean up. That's exactly what he did. He cleaned it up. And as the Sledge gets 6-pick to his Sledge, we see a more interesting one on the defensive side. The Echo is being brought out. There's no IQ on the board on the likes of QConfirm to try. And, well, deny those Yokais, meaning they will have to get their Eagle Vision out. Try and find out where they are located.
I guess now they're in a spot where they acknowledge that it's very unlikely you're going to see QConfirm trying the same thing again and again. So dropping that Warden in favor of the Echo, but at least showing it in the first place, you're teasing them and saying, are you really going to pick Ying into this? And understandably, QConfirm say, nah, not really. We won't bother. So it gives them the chance then to switch things with the Echo. We saw Na'Vi playing this an awful lot yesterday inside of EU, where he would essentially go and position himself in a corner somewhere on the map, but way far away from the action, and just sit there and play on the drones. Because now, with the yellow ping in place, those drones can also make yellow pings. They aren't just there to be spotting tools or to be used as callouts. You can make very precise calls on where someone is waiting, what angle they're holding, and it's almost like the current favor that you get with drones working in reverse, this time for the defenders. So very, very powerful, and I hope this encourages Mentalists to sit there and play more defensively rather than trying to do what we see some Echo players doing, which is going for spawn peaks, being aggressive in the mid round, things like that.
Drones being positioned as the first step will most likely be to get small tower and showers control. Not going to be running that termite, so that one will remain relatively closed, basically. Of course, there is no denial being ran, which is something that we've seen to be a recurring theme right now, this so far for Fnatic. Not a single KE, not a single bandit or a mute to come out, meaning basically QConfirm they don't even need to bring that Thatcher because they could just open up whatever they want anyway, but they run it as an insurance policy. Like this, however, wait, is this a Sledge shotgun?
Yeah, the SMG. We've seen a couple of players running it this week, actually. There's been a few in EU doing exactly the same. I can think of a number of 1v1s where a Sledge was stood there with the SMG, and I was like, you've got a shotgun in your back pocket, surely. Get it out, use it, use it. Play with it, man. Why the hell not? I mean, it kind of doesn't make too much sense when you think about it, but I guess where you're looking towards a sledgehammer being used for horizontal destruction, you can use something like the shotgun if you want to be able to play for it aggressively looking up, or in his case, more playing for that close angle engagement. Healthcare finding 2 kills, make that 3. A triple kill from the north side of Small Tower, and Producer been collecting the 4th. This is very different to what we've seen in previous rounds, Hap.
This is indeed very different, and it's all up to Lusty now, and he gets blown into oblivion by that Claymore. Wanted to go for another jump out, but QConfirm be like, know what you're doing. Just going to be putting down these Claymores everywhere, making sure that you are not getting the same impact as you had last round, mister. And indeed, we'll be blown up. But how crazy would it have been if he would have been able to actually clutch that back out?
to all the craziness that he managed to get 4 kills out of seemingly nowhere, given how the previous round went, you're seeing the kind of swing factor in APAC here really coming into effect. One round where it looks totally dominant for one player on the side of Fnatic. The next, it's totally dominant to a player on the side of QConfirm. And I do want to watch that round back at some point. I'm really curious to know how on earth that 3K suddenly came about, because I know that he was threatening Dining Door. I don't buy that he must have swung his way through and just picked off 3 individual players standing in different spots. That's godlike reactions. There must have been Fnatic stacking up in a single location or running through a doorway to come and contest. And he was more than happy to just say, hey, 3 kills, free KD, better stats for me. I ain't saying no to that.
2-1 right now. Fnatic find themselves still with that round advantage going back down again. And I think you have to agree with me here, but even though Fnatic is 2-1 in front, it doesn't look like they're absolutely dominating their opponents. It's more so that Lusty had 2 really good rounds, especially that ace.
Yeah, I think the first round came down to, as I mentioned at the time, QConfirm being very, not so much one-dimensional, but limiting themselves in the actual angles of attack they really had available to them. The second round was then Lusty finding that ace, which you can kind of write off as a, you know, once in a well, not really once in a lifetime, maybe once in every few weeks sort of occurrence where a single player will drag your whole team over the finish line, because they looked like they should have lost that round. It was literally only Lusty doing anything. Everyone else was dead. It came down to that 1 versus 1 that he won. Wasn't like it was just him going into a 5 versus 5 and killing everyone before anything came back the other way. So that was quite a close round. So mistake in the first round by QConfirm in terms of how they approached their attack. Second round was a bit of a strike of lightning from Lusty. That third round, I don't want to pin against Fnatic. It just looked like Healthcare found 3 really good kills out of seemingly nowhere. I will watch the replay in a minute to get an idea of where that came from. But this game is far from one-sided right now. I do agree with you on that point.
QConfirm could get back into it, especially if they manage to pick up this round. That could be huge if they do. So it brings it back to an equal number. He basically shut down Fnatic onto the bottom bomb side, one that they managed to win, maybe due to, well, the flawed strategy QConfirm tried to bring. I like the idea of trying to push Freezer, but it doesn't work if every single one of your members tries to do so. It's often like you put pressure from Laundry, you put pressure from the blue, and then 1 or 2 members are going down Freezer just to be that kind of wild card in the game that can suddenly pop up and pick up like 1 or 2 kills. But if you're all pushing there, you're basically setting yourself up in a chokehold.
I think Roldini here is looking to be the one that pushes down big tower stairs while the other 4 look towards the south. And truthfully, I have no problem with it coming to the south. They did get caught out by the little random hole that had been opened up in the soft wall from Freezer. As it has been done now, this time it's actually been blown completely wide open, mind you. So now they can see straight through. It's that right-hand wall that I feel they need to get open. And with only Lycolis playing on the hard breach here, looking towards that Havana, I don't know if it's going to be enough for them. That was such a massively whiff shot from Producer Boom. Unlucky, I guess. Mentalist getting the opening kill.
Not just that, but there was this, you know, the E1D was out, and they said, oh, you know, let's just peek it. We know exactly where he is, and managed to get the kill out because of that. And that means that the entry frag is here for Fnatic. And as the flashbangs are being tossed in to try and deny these Wamai magnets, the frisbees, the pancakes, however you want to call them, there's still going to be ADSs they will have to work about as well. So I'm not sure how much utility you actually have left to start throwing at them. See 3 grenades on Zofia, 2 breaching rounds, and I believe 1 flashbang. Should be enough to clear stuff out. The question is, where do they want to use it?
This is the good stuff here, because now they're bringing the Havana down. They get this extra long angle they didn't have in the last round with this wall being opened up, or the last time they played this site, sorry. So now they can contest a little bit better. They can clear the plant location the team are trying to play for. It's just about trying to not get picked off, and here we go. Same plant spot as last time, but they get domed by Magnet, who's playing just inside of the cubby. 3 kills for himself out of nowhere. And for QConfirm for a few seconds, it looked like this might be the round they achieved something. It was all going so well, but there's a player called Magnet, and he's just found himself a 4K. That is the 3rd round in a row that a player has found 4+ kills and won the round for his team.
Man, Fnatic is on a roll with these multi-kills. It's every single time someone shows up, and, well, the question is, who will be the next one? Will it be Stigs? Will it be Mentalist? Or will it be Tax? Or is Lusty going to be going back at it again? As we are going to Kid Storms again. As the Warden is being picked out, we'll probably be 6 picked away, but it's just going to be like a bit of a scare, like, don't you dare bring Ying. We are ready if you do. And as I say that the Termite's being brought and the Warden is being 6 picked out, they're just trying to find out what they actually want to use. And a Valkyrie is coming out. It's extra information that could be quite valuable with no IQ on the board.
I watched back that round, by the way, from when we were on the kitchen and dining attack, and that triple kill came to the way of healthcare. There were 2 players from Fnatic that ran down Shower Corridor to try and get a trade kill onto him, but both completely messed it up, ended up stood over the top of each other, and he just sprayed down through the pair of them. Unfortunate, I guess. These things do happen, but at least the attempt was there from Fnatic. That last round looked a lot better, admittedly, from both sides, I think. QConfirm getting themselves the right angles opened up, as I mentioned. The right-hand side of that freezer wall was opened. They got inside pretty peacefully. The one thing they've forgotten is always the small mistakes that will cost you. No drone inside of the cubby to spot Magnet in there, who pops up and finds himself 3 kills entirely for free. So in these rounds, it is coming down to small individual moments of brilliance, like Lusty's ace, like healthcare, completely foiling Fnatic's attempted trade. That last round was Magnet not being droned out. Both teams are playing well. It's just small things are costing them rounds.
Definitely so. And it's key to fix these small things as soon as possible before more rounds are being lost and it starts to be getting dire. It's up to QConfirm to try and figure that out. The finger is back on the board. It worked out quite well for them. Just, again, as you said, small mistakes. Weren't able to close it out in the end.
I think if they can line all their ducks in a row, little expression to say basically get everything lined up exactly the way that you want it, it can work really well for them. Because we saw against Norarengo the number of times they get control of something like Boiler when attacking downstairs, pull the button, get the adrenal surge through, and then all run forward and take gunfights. The number of times they completely out-pressured and outguns Norarengo was absurd. And although you're against Fnatic, who absolutely gunned their brains out the other day playing on Coastline, I think there's a really good chance they can win some gunfights there with the extra boost it gives you, the better ADS time, things like that, the reduced recoil, everything stacks up in their favor. They just need to stop getting members picked off relatively early on, as they are losing quite a few opening kills here to Mentalist, who has found 2 so far.
The Mentalist who found 2 opening kills. Pretty big start or pretty big impact so far in these 4 rounds. And right now, it is Fnatic just trying to hold QConfirm back a bit, as they want to get that control of the kitchen. Look at that pings, all these shields being popped up.
Well, it's kind of a heads up for saying, Roldini, here's your task for the rest of the round. Go and try and kill these. He's like, do I have to? And it's like, yes, you do. They've managed to Thatcher out the 2 ADSs here. They know on the drone that both of the disabled, so they could just pop them out here. If they drop one through, Magnet's laid down, the shield's been removed out the way. This is a new way of dealing with these gadgets, so rather than trying to blow them up, disable them, and then destroy what you have to force members of Fnatic back, because Magnet can no longer play on that shield.
It's going to be, while removing the presence that actually is going to be coming from APAC, they're going to have to go.
One.
Ooh, indeed, that is unfortunate. That is going to be the last impact he had as well, so no more impacts from his side. No breaching rounds either, indeed, and that means that shield will stay, and that shield is going to be quite, well, impactful if you say so, because someone can just peek out from the kids' bedroom, just hold this doorway. Basically, there's nothing you can do about it. You're gonna have to try and go from below and maybe pressure it a bit, or use these stun grenades that you have if you want to shut it down. But these last 30 seconds, it's not looking good for QConfirm. That shield is one that they really had to take out together with the one in Attic. They managed to clear out one of them. Now they need to rely onto their gun skills, because the gun skills is what can save them this round. But look at Lusty's again going on a bit of a flank right here. The question is, will they be aware on QConfirm's side? Because he's going up these stairs, and right as I say that, Dark is watching the other side. Mac comes in, Sticks come in. It's going to be a 1-5 situation now, as Roldini is the last man standing. Picks up 2 huge kills, 3 huge kills as he shuts down Lusty. But the magazine was empty, and Fnatic will be able to win the round as Sticks just sweeps in and cleans up right after.
Impressive little moment of brilliance, but everything kind of went against QConfirm there. And I will go as far as going to say that was a really poor attack from them. They had the right idea, I think, in disabling the ADSs and then looking to pop shields, but they had no one pressuring kids. They had no one looking on big window to pressure inside of the back where Valkyrie was sat inside of the dorms area. They had no one looking to threaten through Attic, because you had Mag sat in Pig very, very comfortably and being able to contest and spray anyone who ran through game room. All the angles still existed for Fnatic to contest anyone who tried to push in through Trophy, who tried to push in through Game. There was just very little option available to QConfirm outside of what you said, which is just run in and try to gun. And we all know that's going to give a 20-30% lean towards the defensive side there as the clock runs down to 0. You have nothing going for you as the attackers. That round played out exactly as you would expect, given how things sat at the 30-second mark. Good little flourish from Roldini, admittedly showing some of that gun skill that we hoped a new player would bring to the team, but sadly, it's not a win for them. That's 4 rounds to Fnatic so far on the defense, final one will go down into kitchen and dining, which QConfirm run previously, but again, only off the back of healthcare finding a 4K. I imagine Fnatic here will maybe want to play a bit more passively. Don't try and force down shower corridor with that risk of being picked off by those watching you in small tower. Just don't give QC the opportunity to pop like they did in that last round.
10 seconds remaining.
So, and here you have it, Rodini picking up one, going for the second one as he gets tagged down just a little bit, going for the huge flick here onto Lusty. Bit of overcompensation there, but managed to pick it up. And well, whilst he's swapping, the SMG-11 is not really the weapon that you want to have against you on that close range. So,
no.
He started off huge, but due to the fact he had no cover, he was basically, well, doomed to die.
Pretty much. It does feel like a issue that we saw QConfirm have a few times last season was their attacks. Despite being a team, you know, I really enjoy watching them, and I've said to you guys yesterday, QConfirm and Secret are two of my favorite teams to watch across EU and APAC, purely because they have somewhat similar play styles and they both approach the game quite strategically, it feels. It's not a run and gun affair for them. They know their strength lies in their team play and their coordination. And they had some wonderful games in Oregon last season. Despite losing both of the games they played, they still played them very, very well, and it was really entertaining to watch. So this season we've got to see that improve, but look at this. This is the issue. You're trying to play as just play the map as you would normally expect, but Fnatic are up in your grill and shutting you down every time you try and step forward. Unfortunate, but I think we know which way this round's going already.
Indeed, 2 enter frags, but I just really want to highlight Mentalist using the, well, as he goes down now, using that yokai drone just to give out some information, put in a stun as well, and that was the death of Rodini as he got picked up. And that is 2 entries. Yes, Mentalist just gone down, but the yokai drones will still be up, feeding information in the positions where they will be idling now. They're trying to go on the drone, trying to spot if there's any yokai drone, because I also see this. You see them better with drones due to the different color scheme these drones have. They have a little bit of a different color scheme, so it's easier to spot out. And that's exactly what they're doing now, rather than just looking themselves. But they're not able to find them yet, so it's going to be costing them some time. They're starting to open up with the Selmas now. 1 minute left. What do they need to do?
They're in a spot where they can try and go for the execute in this 3 versus 4. As you say, at least the Echo has been dealt with. The smoke's coming out here. This is normally where you would then try and go for a plant, but there's no smoke in towards the kitchen area. That alarms me because they've now burnt one of the crucial gadgets they need to do that, but Healthcare wins the gunfight back against Stigs despite all those bullets coming flying out of the Alder. Somehow QConfirm have dragged this back to being a 3 versus 3 with 45 seconds on the clock. I'll be feeling quite optimistic about a 4-2 here. Despite what I said 30 or 40 seconds ago, if there is no way they can win this round, those 2 kills might have just given them a massive lean towards a victory here.
Good indeed, but look at that Evil Eye that is still up there. That's going to be feeding information again, even though Stigs is dead. So much information will be fed to the likes of Fnatic. They are using all their utility, however, to try and take it out. You just saw the breaching round being used. That will be taking care of that Evil Eye. So right now, that means they need to go for a plant. The smoke canister will be used.
Does Lusty have a C4 here?
Oh, no, he has impacts. 2 impacts.
In that case, then you're a bit screwed here. I did think they could try and play for this, but a spray through catches one. Traded back out. I lie. It's Magnet picking that one up. So, just by trying to put the smoke in such a corner as this, you're trying to make the impossible happen, I fear. Lusty closing things out. What a half he has had. Fnatic at 5-1, and QConfirm reeling a little bit here, I think, unless they can pull out some wondrous plays on the defense. Fnatic are in such a huge advantage being 5-1 up.
5-1 up. 2 more rounds and they managed to get the win in. 2 more rounds. And they are, well, basically almost already doing better than they were. Well, they're definitely doing better already than they were in stage 1. And man, Fnatic, are they back? That is the question. Are they back to their former glory? Have they managed to find out where the mistakes were, what the issues were, and have they fixed them for this stage? Because they seem to be Blitz. Hello.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Is that Pengu? Is that Pengu? Hello. No, for sure. And I think one thing worth touching on is the kind of key story coming in today to me when watching these games was, you know, these are the Titans from day one. They had a 7-0, Fnatic did, against their opponents, and then QConfirm had a 7-2 against theirs. They were APAC or Cyclops and Norengo respectively, who will be facing off against each other later on today. And I wondered, given how well both played the other day, who's going to pull ahead? Who is going to establish themselves right now as arguably the strongest team in the competition? And that's a very bold thing today, given we've only seen 1 game so far, this now being the second one. But I think with what we're seeing in terms of the quality of play, this was going to be the great definer for me. Fnatic having never played this map before, having never shown it, QConfirm having played it 3 times, I came in thinking surely QConfirm gets something here. But Fnatic have put on a masterclass so far, and it's looking really positive for them. I think I would agree with you. It looks like they've fixed a lot of those old issues, and I'm expecting a big finish from them this season.
Big finishes indeed, what we'd like to see. They're definitely trying to elevate themselves out of that, well, bottom 6 position and trying to elevate themselves in the top 6 one. And if they continue this, they might be just as well qualifying themselves for the next major, somewhere where we would expect them to be. As Lycolos right now will be the one to basically stop this blitz. He has the smoke canisters. He is the one line of defense they need to be careful of.
It was risky running back then from inside of the walk-in wardrobe back in towards game because there was Stigs on the rappel next to the blitz who could have easily snagged him out as he tried to run across, but apparently not quite in position just yet, not quite paying full attention, doesn't manage to catch a kill there. Going to be a drop-off of this window now for Tex, probably looking to push downstairs and try and take a stairway assault. But with things setting up for the side of QC, they haven't got too much to worry about, I don't think. Fnatic taking things a little bit calmer right now. No need to rush in, no need to panic. Still got plenty of time to play with, but already probably feel like they have the right levels of control down towards the south. I'm wondering when the push in towards Attic comes in from Mentalist, though.
Pretty similar setup we see
My
here.
God, that's pixel perfect.
Wow, that just fits as well. It's going to be clear, however, but I believe they might be able to get an angle now from the window. I believe that is Lusty who is actually repelled up on there. They might be able to get an angle out to try and, well, help Tex, as he is trying to make the push happen now. He's just putting down some pressure, hoping to be oppressive. And if he succeeds in doing so, we might see the first kill coming in soon, but I doubt it's going to be by Tex's hand. Tex is going to be that last second push through, that last second, well, panic attack that will be hitting QConfirm as he will be deciding to stay alive. Wildini is trying to put himself into a flanking position as Fnatic is opening up onto Attic now.
I like the plan, what they're doing here. They're using Tex as kind of like a battering ram, it feels like. They're trying to get these walls opened up and then just sending Tex through and saying, right, go and destroy the gadgets that you can find. Obviously play behind the shield. So I think what they'll do here is stick him inside a tower and have him push through Attic to take control of Pig without too much worry. Obviously got to be wary if someone is playing inside of Pig, they might C4 you out. And I just did hear a C4 come out then, I think. Didn't connect onto anyone or kill anyone, clearly, but the attempt was made from healthcare.
EMP being tossed in, Mac taking a lot of damage right there as he runs across. Not going to be able to find himself a way out anymore, and here we have it. The Selma not activating yet. They need to take care of that mute jammer, and as it's being taken care of, the Selma will deploy, and it is going to be opening up even more so now. Mac holding the flank, knowing that Roldini is looking to make an impact here, and as soon as he would be moving up these stairs, he could be caught off, but Mac goes on a drone, and that means there is an opportunity now for him to move up these stairs and get the kill, drop the diffuser. That's a huge one, as the second one potentially comes in. Is Lusty not able to land it yet? He's taking a lot of damage here, and this is the last second panic attack I was talking about. Tex needs to have an impact now, but he will be taken care of from the back, and it's a double kill, triple kill actually from Healthcare with that shotgun, just running in these close quarters and just taking them down one by one as they run at him.
There have been 2 rounds in this game, rounds 1 and round 6, where we haven't seen a player get at least a 3K. This is getting a little bit absurd, and maybe in round 5, Roldini's 3K, you say when he was in a 1 versus 5, there's just no way, it doesn't really count. Sure, but it's the fact that we're seeing these individual moments of brilliance from certain players in these rounds that's really starting to... It makes rounds unpredictable because you just don't know who's going to pull what out. This round, though, given it was the first attacking one coming out of Fnatic, it looks slow. And what I'm worried about is that feels like what we saw from them back in last season. I remember one of their games when they were playing on Clubhouse, very one-dimensional attack. All they did was push their way through Kitchen and go for a drop down the hatch as a collective group. It didn't work out for them. It was too one-dimensional. And that attack there just felt lost. It took them 90 seconds to get control of Master and Trophy to then start looking to push forwards. They rotated Tex towards Attic, and it took another 60 seconds for him to get through the wall with the ace and then start pushing down. They were rotating the ace from down in towards Master, up in towards Tower, then back down again. There was just a lot of things that really worked against them there to the stage you leave yourself with 30 seconds left. You're forced to rush and start making mistakes, and QC just go, cool, Roldini, flank, healthcare, push with the shotgun. And you know you can capitalize on that because Fnatic are in free fall. They're panicking because that clock's running down to the final 10 to 15 seconds, and they clean up very, very convincingly. QC had to do nothing in that round. That was entirely on Fnatic's failings to watch the clock and to operate nice and efficiently.
Really like what we're seeing right here. Normally I would say let's bring a second hard breach in, but instead Fnatic as well, just like QConfirm, choosing to go for the secondary hard breach gadget instead of a full operator to deal with that issue. And that means you have the Ying available to you now. That means you have these Candelas that you can use, and there's only there's only 3 ADSs you will have to deal with, not these 5 pancakes as well. So this might be a more successful Ying push, especially since it seems to be going very quickly here as they're rushing downstairs. Styx will be able to pick up the first kill. No, it's actually Lusty to do so. Like Cole is around the corner watching with a shotgun. Styx has to go for a pre-fire. Is he able to go get it? No, he will be taken down. Rodini will come in as well with a double kill himself. His Mentalist who will get blasted through the wall and taken down. And Mag, who is still in spawn, is the last member remaining. He was watching the flank. That was his job, to make sure no one would be coming up behind him. But that is a quick round, lost very, very fast. And, well, Mag is the opportunity now to either say, let's take a tactical timeout, or let's try and make the best of it as he moves down the laundry stairs. But there's only one way this goes. He has been spotted at. The bulletproof camera was there. The information will be fed through. A flank is coming in as well, and the men will be taken down.
Oh, the beautiful irony of the guy watching the flank watch getting flanked late round by healthcare and all. That's one of those horribly frustrating moments where you know your job is to sit and watch the flank. Your 4 guys rush in. They're like, okay, we've got the opening kill. Sweet, go, guys, go. And then Roldini steps up and finds himself 2 to 3 kills in the middle of the round. Just an absolute cleanup affair there by QC. And we're beginning to see now why Laundry is so difficult to push into. You've got the cubby to worry about, the rotation into supply, the corridor leading up towards supply, the freezer wall. There's just 4 or 5 angles that you need to be aware of when you go rushing into that site, and it is all very one-dimensional. You have to push through a double door together, and despite it starting out well for Fnatic, just didn't anticipate that Roldini would be so close on that corridor corner to swing around and find 2 kills against them. Unfortunate, I guess, but it's another one for QConfirm, which brings us up to 5 and 3. This could yet be a really close game here, Hap. Although, again, last round and this round that we just saw a second ago, I would put that down to mainly being on Fnatic's mistakes rather than on QConfirm's successes. I'd just kind of ease off a little bit here if I were Fnatic and breathe a little bit. Don't take too much time because that's what they did back in round number 7, but just think about things a bit more thoroughly, stage your attacks better, get the walls open that need to be open, and take control of the areas that you need rather than flip-flopping about and changing your mind as the game goes by.
I was going to say as well, I don't think I've seen any of the Candelas actually being used. So as soon as we saw the push coming into the rotation, just roll through a Candela because the smoke will be blind.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they didn't smoke off the rotation into supply. Like, I thought that would be the #1 thing you look towards. And even when you got a second smoke, like, why not go for the corridor too? Or at least Candela them, so if someone is there, they get themselves caught out. It was unfortunate, but that was the expectation. It just didn't come to bear.
So just a bit of improvement points for Fnatic. Want to rush it again in 2 rounds from now. Just use those Candelas.
Just the Candelas, bro. Just throw the Candelas.
Just throw them. It's throw them, they go boom, and you win. It's how simple it is.
It should be that simple.
Lusty has to be careful, though, as he's entering through the master bedroom. He's getting hot droned in. There's going to be 2, 3, 4 people upstairs. Look at that. There's such a big hole right here. Such big pressure from the likes of QConfirm, and Lusty is trying to single-handedly dispatch it, but he will be dispatched himself. Dark is... And that means Fnatic, their plan to insert Lusty into the defenses QConfirm has failed. And again, as you said, you might have to just throw it down instead of just trying to play it so aggressively, so fast the entire time.
Dare I say it's almost like they're looking to play with a bit of cheese here, whether it was Tex on the blitz, whether it was the rush last round, whether it was Lusty rushing in inside 30 seconds here and trying to catch someone off guard. I get it. You only really need a couple of rounds for that sort of play to work, and this game would be done and in your favor. And Tex taking a little bit of damage, but it's a rush straight up the stairs here. Surely they know. They have no idea. No one is watching, and that is exactly what I mean. It's only got to work once, and it can be a round going in your favor. Tex, wonderful double kill. Everything swung back their way, but now Roldini's on the flank, and they know there's one upstairs. How does he win this gunfight? No way he does. It's going to be a team kill coming through. It puts things into a 2 versus 2 half, and there is still 80 seconds in this round. That is unbelievable.
Still so much time left right here. Mentalist now has that top floor control, and look at all the vertical handicap being created. He's able to put not a damage down on the health here. He was able to put down Mentalist just a little bit more. And they're just trying to find these angles here. All the verticals are there. Mag's trying to put himself in from the dining room. And if they do this perfectly, if they manage to time themselves perfectly, they might be able to pincer them out right here. But there seems to be a bit of a worry on Mag. Mag is looking around, trying to find it as he gets the wall bang down onto Lycolas. It's all up to healthcare now. It's an 84-round magazine on the Alva. Able to get the first down now. Mentalist needs to drop. He needs to change. The free fire comes through, but it's healthcare who wins it. QConfirm again on top here. And they are going to be able to bring it back.
Another 3K from healthcare, by the way.
I think it is.
You got the 2K at the end, I think. I'll have to go back and double check on that one, but that is unbelievable. That whole round, highly amusing from start to finish. Sure, Lusty's rush at the start, you can probably discount and say, okay, that was a bit of a throw. But anything from there onwards, with Tex going for the rush, Roldini's flank, finding the 2K, Lycolas TKing Roldini in the process, coming down to that final drop and the little firefight at the end in a 1v1. Beautiful round when it comes down to entertainment value. And again, I can appreciate why Fnatic are trying these more balls to the wall plays. They just want to try and catch QC off guard and get around in their favor. But that was the third round in a row going to the way of QC. Fnatic have got to work something out here now as we've completed all 3 sites. We've gone through the full rotation. We now go back to kids and dorms.
Full rotation complete.
I am highly entertained. I am a happy man. As are you.
Yeah, I'm a
already
happy man as well. You know,
60% of the way there.
You know, just need to close it off. How many times people have made these jokes? I'm not even. I'm scarred.
Thing is, you sound so. Not dour, but dry is the way I'd describe it. Your humor sometimes is so dry, and I'm like, he doesn't sound like the happy, excitable kind of guy you think of when you think of the name Hap. Like, it must mean happy. It must be short for happy. Maybe it's an abbreviation. And then there's you just here looking like a stone cold killer, cracking a joke, and everyone's like, "What is this?"
I'm a happy person. You just don't always see it.
I do not show my emotion.
I do not show my emotion
here in Benelux.
We only know serious business in Benelux. No memes. No.
Serious only.
Serious only. Nothing like that.
All right, let's look at Tex. I want to see what he does this time because he was the battering ram for the team last time round. I want to see what they try and utilize him for. And by the looks of it, they're committing a couple of members a little bit earlier up towards the north side, including the diffuser. So big tower going to be a big focus for them rather than kind of dilly-dallying around for a good 2.5 minutes down towards the south.
Well, Fnatic will have to slow it down, as you said, because every single time they tried to go quick, they lost that surgical precision they have. We know they have. It made them lose out on more rounds than they might have had to. And of course, you might be able to, well, make it happen once or twice, being able to rush through like that, able to actually reach the side or get some huge kills. If you're not able to close out the rounds in the end, you might want to go for a bit more of that precision we were talking about. And as we say precision, they bring a blitz. And that is going to be, again, hopefully, well, this is successful. Bullied.
Oh.
Cyber bullied. Absolutely cyber bullied by Tex there. Nothing he could do, healthcare.
Healthcare as well, the guy that's been fragging out for the team the whole time around, but he was the one playing aggressively up close with the shotgun, unable to contest onto the blitz and got himself downed and put out. You can see 11 kills to his name so far. Has been the big carry pants for the team. This is a good advantage for Fnatic. I like how they're moving with pace, with purpose. This is much better than what we've seen for the last 3 rounds.
And the second smoke canister coming out right here as Tex is using the beautiful APAC skin. Lusty is going to be able to produce a boom into a situation. This is surely something Fnatic will be feeling confident with as they're going into these last 70 seconds. Roldini, however, still a card up their sleeves, able to make up these huge impact plays. To get a bit dark, of course, the other new player as well. He's able to show up, well, here and there as well. As, well, here comes the frags. His Mentalist to pick up Lycolas after he just take down Sticks.
Nice.
I can't even keep up. Lusty and Mentalist, as quick as they are, they finish it up, and Fnatic will be on match point.
That was much better, and what I was expecting to see from Fnatic since round 7 is a much more coordinated, purpose-driven round from them. They get the wall open inside of Attic in case they need it. They rotate everyone down inside of Trophy. Fortunate to pick up an opening kill. Then make sure they have all the right angles covered. Pressure on big windows so no one can sit comfortably inside of dorms. One looking to threaten the plant inside of game because the wardrobe wall have been opened up as well. This is where QConfirm need to be aggressive. They need to be out in the map and looking to cause some trouble against these players on Fnatic, whether it's C4s from below, looking to contest immediately onto that door as soon as you hear them rock up inside a Trophy. things along those lines really didn't work out for them. They lost their ones across the map. Really good round for Fnatic, and they at least put themselves now at that 6th round point. Overtime is guaranteed, or a win. I'd be pretty comfortable with them in this situation. Doubling down and staying the blitz out once again. We're going to see QConfirm return to the top 4 for a second attempt at this site.
Second attempt, indeed. QConfirm hoping to actually make it stick this time. No, I was going to say no blitz, but Texas again on that blitz. So the blitz is coming out again. Nofka, just make sure you're not being found in that one corner again where you get cyberbullied. He still has pretty big legion. That's a good thing, actually. Going to mention that one. He's going to be able to basically slow down Tex. Every single good mine the blitz steps into, it will have to fall back, pull it out, and start all over again. So let's hope that is going to be helping QConfirm here in possibly their last defense.
Objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, not even bothering with C4s here, which I'm still surprised by. You'd normally bring at least one to deal with. You can rotate downstairs and get a C4 from below. You can throw it into game if it tries to plant in the corner. You can throw it off Fnatic if you really want to. A lot of options and things you can do with C4s on this site, yet not a single one being brought along by QC is somewhat of a surprise. But it looks like they're more engineered towards the denial side of things, the leech and the boosting, and then looking more towards the projectile style with the Jaeger and the one mic coming out as well. Houdini, I expect to see on a flank once again, and he's on the Ella again. You can see him playing out towards the west, actually. He's hanging quite far out right now, down towards the side of the map, or dining side of the map, I should say. Keep an eye on him, as he could be a massive spoiler in this round if Fnatic don't expect him to come.
There we go. Pretty similar setup again from Fnatic's side. Put the blitz down. Put him into, let him put some pressure onto the side. Be like, hey, I'm here. You're gonna have to deal with me sooner rather than later. It's Tex. He's the man to do it. Ready to hip fire. Ready to cyber bully some people. C4 is being tossed out, I believe. What's that? It's just something else. Not a magnet actually from Producer Boom. The first opening is there, and that means an angle can be created.
Two of them looking to hold here. They've got to be so careful of this trophy doorway. Someone rushes through like Tex. They're in a world of hurt. Houdini's still hopping inside of dining right now. And I wonder if all this everything shows when he's going to strike. Tex strike first, bringing down Lycolis. Second round in a row, the Tex found a kill from this doorway.
No way that was a hip fire one. Look at that range. He's all the way behind a little football table there. He's not going to be able to get the second one as a goo mine is being tossed out. Fall back, take care of that goo mine before he strikes again. Just waiting. Waiting patiently as they know they have the advantage in 70 seconds on the clock. That's all they need to do. Just get one more, maybe two.
They still have a Salmon left. They want to try again to get this all open, but I guess the problem was those attacks from the denial. There we go. Elka not going down first in this round. He's going to strike up and find one. A nice prayer attempt coming out of Mentalist, but no one to be found. However, they do know where he is. And it's just more of the window here on the side of the walking wardrobe where both teams are firing bullets ancient through it.
And keep in mind on Roldini as well, he's the man that is looking to go for the flank as Tex right here, able to get the flash out. He's hoping to get a bit of a hipfire headshot. All Legion has to do is just stand up once more, and that is going to be potentially the kill to come through. Another flash to come. A kill. Right after Tex will go down. 30 seconds left, and we're finding ourselves in a 3-on-3 situation with 3 drones available for Fnatic. There's quite some information, but they seem to be aware of the fact that Roldini is downstairs. Fnatic is rotating out. Already on the top. Look at that. He's already in the top armory's first. Mentalist is quite in a bad position, but he's able to pick up the kill. 9 seconds left. The plant needs to go down now. Healthcare, you are the one important person here. And as we get the server crashes, no, it does not. The kills are coming down. QConfirm will win it as Stigs was not able to find the last person here. This was a very strange ending of the round.
I think that looked like more lag on our side, given the order of kills and how they flowed through. They still landed and still connected. So unfortunate on our side, but at least for the players, the round completed out by the looks of it. QConfirm bring themselves within 1 round of overtime there. You can see how much better they played that round as well. It wasn't all down to Fnatic. It was down to them being willing to get aggressive. They were denying the Selmas going down onto the walking wardrobe. They were contesting through in healthcare. Again, the key player for his team, 14 kills in this game, was the one who got a double kill by contesting onto that window, one of them being the blitz that had given his team so much trouble for the last couple of rounds. So much better from them being willing to be aggressive without getting over-aggressive. And Fnatic, after messing up that smoke grenade, man, you leave yourself a bit high and dry there, having to charge your way through the trophy doorway with no idea who is where. Good round from QConfirm. Now we've got to see if Fnatic can close things out at 7 and 5, or whether or not we get our first overtime of the day happen.
That is going to be a question also the first overtime of stage 2, because we haven't had it yet. So
True, yeah,
that is what they're aiming for. Yeah. It's weird. It's the APAC where we haven't had overtime, something that we wouldn't have said during stage 1. But it is a fact so far. It's the first game of the day. I'm back to old standards.
Oh, baby. The last time we were here, it was the absolute chaos, if you remember. It was the Lusty rushing inside in 30 seconds, getting picked off. Tex rushing in on the Dokkaebi, getting 2 kills with the pistol. Goldini flanking for a 2k, like Colas is 2k. It was sheer madness. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm hoping here things are again a bit more composed. Let's not forget for Fnatic what worked so well for them in round number 10. It's when things slow down a little bit, when it's getting a tiny bit more. They still knew what they wanted to do and went with purpose, but didn't take any unnecessary risks. That last round was more about QC being aggressive. Fnatic have now got to change again. This is the big ask for me. Can they achieve that, or is overtime going to be a thing?
That's the question. The Blitz will be coming out again. I'm not sure how effective it actually is. Like, I've watched it so many times. Actually got like 1 or 2 kills. And that those kills would have been able to not have gotten if you didn't have that shield in front of you. As I say, that Tax now again, he's just playing aggro on the door. He's just trying to force him to peek him. Maybe get a lucky hat come out. If your strategy relies on the RNG hat, well, it's not really a good strategy, is it?
Not particularly. This site itself can be really interesting to attack. Rather than bothering on the upstairs, focused entirely on big tower. Makes total sense. They want to get control of the top floor first. I think it was Tempera who we saw holding upstairs here previously, who completely rained down health from above by holding inside of Attic, and late round flanking down the tower stairs too. So I like at least here how there is a focus on the top floor, getting that wall open to make sure Producer Moon can't play up there safely. As soon as he tries to vault into Attic from Pig, well, likelihood is he's going to get his head taken clean up by Fnatic.
Girl, Selmas are opening up. That is going to be the complete site that they now will be having, well, line of sight on. Question is, have they saved a Selma to open up onto Attic as well? Because we know how important Attic can be for a take like this. Are they going to be taking control of it? Or are they just going to be completely disregarding it? Looking at it, the hatch seems open. So if one of the defenders can sneak up there, well, it seems they're actually already opened it up indeed. And they're worried about it as well as bomb chassis being used as cover.
You'll be so worried. They know because the drone's pinged out where he is as well. And of course, with it being the yellow ping, he has no idea that they know where he is here. They're going to try and pre-fire. That at least gives some indication to them that they know that someone is up there. He's going to peel away and say, you know, it's just not worth the risk anymore. But it is forcing utility out of the side of Fnatic. That's a smoke grenade that came out there to make it possible. Here we go. Stepping forward, playing aggressive, and Healthcare loses the fight against Mag. Critical killers. That is the Evil Eyes offline too.
The Evil Eyes taken care of. And his healthcare is gone. No more denial coming down from that. Of course, only the information will stand. 25 seconds. Roldini here to try and contest onto the Attic if he succeeds in making this shot happen. If he gets that 1 kill, as Lacolas comes up for the back, but he's not checking the right cover. He will be taken down. The plant will be coming down in the meantime. It's Dark and Producer Boom. Dark will be taken down. It's only up to Producer Boom now. He's coming out of the smoke, but he will be knifed by Tax. And Fnatic will win it at the last very moment by the Blitz shield coming in clutch right here. Just flashing him as he comes out the smoke. Getting the knife killing right after. It's Fnatic to take the second win. This one was a bit more, well, hard fought than the one that they had onto the Tuesday. But they persevered. They won, and that is all that matters.
I'm not going to lie, Hap. Anything is more competition than they had the other day. A 7-0 to a 7-5, massive change. And looking at the numbers across the board, very similar in terms of kill numbers. But Lusty and Healthcare, no doubt, going to be the big talking point for both of these teams. Massive show for them. And as I mentioned back in that first half, up until round 9, it was multi-kill galore. 7 of those rounds, we had players walking away with 3K, 4K, or even the 8 from Lusty. It was sheer chaos. It was beautiful to watch the whole way through. One of my favorite games that I've seen so far this stage across both EU and APAC, and really look forward to seeing these two teams play again in future.
Let's just quickly throw it over to our analysts and see what they thought of these 12 rounds. We went all the way to maximum, well, not really maximum amount of rounds because we didn't have people were staying in week 1 phase. So, take it away.
Dankjewel, Stein. Yes, we are back on the analyst